The Youth Charter 22 Tenniswise Report is the result of 7 years of debate, discussion and dialogue at every level of the game. Parents, administrators, players at all levels, from all backgrounds and all abilities. The ability to really launch this report came from the inspiration of the Youth Charter Legacy-Wise Report. And that report sought to explore what the inspiration of a generation might look like and the role that tennis would play. For many people, tennis is a sport that doesn't immediately come to mind in the work of the Youth Charter. But both on the court and off the court, tennis provides wonderful life skill benefits, great character building, and helps performance in both the classroom, the playground, and beyond the school gate. The report has 32 recommendations. Some of the recommendations may be seen as controversial, but nonetheless, the Tenniswise Report does not shy away from the challenges and opportunities that the LTA face in making the sport and the pastime more participative in its equality, diversity, and inclusion. For example, the wish to see, in a year that will mark the 40th anniversary of Arthur Ashe's win at Wimbledon, and in 30 years from his presence on the streets of Brixton following the riots, and his legacy of the Arthur Ashe Inner City Tennis Programme, and with the recognition of many greats such as Tim Henman and Pat Cash, that our future champions that will grace Wimbledon and win Wimbledon will come from the inner cities. It is, by the way of the report's findings, a still continued frustration that we're not seeing wild cards from the streets become wild cards at Wimbledon. It's clearly the case that with the right social and cultural characteristics and behaviours, the performance can well and easily realise what Arthur Ashe saw in his ability to see tennis as a social vehicle of change, both on the court and off the court. Equally, the Williams sisters have demonstrated that from South Precinct LA and with gang-torn areas, that it focuses the mind and sees them become all that they can become. But how do we get more inclusive? How do we become more diverse? Many people say that tennis is not climate friendly in this country. But we do have our French counterparts who have 10 players in the top 100 and have a Davis Cup team that is as diverse a reflection of French society, whereas at odds with our own English and British tennis culture and society. Whether we like it or not, tennis is still about the class structure, the class game. And until our clubs can be more open and inclusive, will we see the participation and healthy lifestyle aspirations of the LTA realised. They have currently revisited and are currently considering a new strategic plan. However, for that strategic plan to work, we need more diversity and equality in our coaching. Because once you have that in your coaching, you will get the diversity and the inclusion and participation in the inner cities, rural and suburban communities that we have. If we then have that participation currency, the quality will come to the top and the talent will become real potential, and that wild card intensity and hunger, given that good class mix as I call it, will see the type of competition intensity see us become and produce the likes of the Andy Murrays, who I might remind you came from socially and culturally challenging experiences with the Dunblane massacre. And without that adversity of tragedy, would he have then challenged his demons to become the Grand Slam champion that he has become? But I think the Tenniswise Report, if nothing else, brings one of the most important and unconsidered representation of tennis, the parents. Tennis parents are the biggest investors in British tennis. However, they are rarely heard, let alone listened to. And this report sees specific recommendations made, but ironically, without any acknowledgement to name, as most of these parents are very frightened that the fact that if they were to simply express how they feel, that their children might suffer. So this report makes no excuses. It does present, hopefully, the right recommendations that will help inform and add value to the LTA and the All England Club's considerations of how a wonderful tournament, a globally respected tournament, can actually see a tennis opportunity for all, and on the basis of that, see everything realised, everything possible, and all opportunities made, where it matters, where it counts, and where it can most make a difference.